So the next one we're playing is The Magic World of Beatrix Potter. So, yeah, people should know this one. Like, Peter Rabbit's been around for more than 100 years now, and yeah, there's been a few different iterations. We watched it earlier on stream. Obviously, I can't do it on YouTube, but we watched a little bit of the 1991 series. I think it's called The World of Peter Rabbit and Friends. But yeah, we're going to check the actual Windows 3.1 program of it. Yodo Press. Yeah, so I'm trying to remember all the little factoids I learned about Beatrix Potter. So, yeah, children's author,
Beatrix
naturist.
Potter lived here at
We're
Hilltop
probably-
Farm
we're
in the
gonna
village
learn
of
a bit now.
Sawrey in the English Lake District. Come inside and find out all about her.
Yeah, so the series we were watching before was actually, they filmed it on location in Hilltop, because it's, I think the actual farm's like, it's like the equivalent, the British equivalent of heritage listed, kind of like a few other like places in Australia. But yeah, that was the only thing I couldn't get working properly was this video of Tom Kitten, which yeah, just doesn't want to play. Some issue with QuickTime, but yeah, lots of other things to check out. So let's learn.
As you
maybe
go
a
through the
little bit.
disc, you will
Oh.
find 16 miniature letters. See if you can collect them all.
Yeah, alright, that sounds like fun. Oh yeah, we got some art. So yeah, can we learn anything about Beatrix Potter? Family photo album art, Tom Kitten film activities, games. But yeah, that was the main thing I liked about the actual show. Like, the artwork is pretty stunning. And they were actually able to animate it. They did like two separate things in the show. Like, one was a live action thing with a woman playing Beatrix Potter, and then like the actual animated cartoon of one of the tales. Let's actually look at one of the tales. Gotta start with the most popular.
The tale
one.
of Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit.
While their mother is out, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail gather blackberries down the lane. But naughty Peter Rabbit goes straight to Mr. McGregor's garden. He eats lettuces, French beans and radishes, but when he looks for some parsley, he bumps into Mr. McGregor, who chases him and very nearly catches him. Poor Peter is terribly frightened. He loses his jacket and shoes, but manages to hide from Mr. McGregor in a water can half full of water. In the end, he escapes from the garden and runs home, where Mrs. Rabbit puts him to bed and gives him a dose of chamomile tea.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too
To
bad.
find
It's a
out
hell of a lot
more
better
about
than,
this tale,
Castor Oil.
click on the picture. To choose another story, click on Go Back.
Yeah, we'll do some. We'll get some more info about Peter Rabbit. So, yeah, from what I was learning as well. So, I think that was covered here.
In
Hang on.
1893, Beatrix Potter wrote a picture letter to Noel Moore, the son of her former governess, about a naughty rabbit called Peter. Her model for Peter was very likely her own pet rabbit, Peter Piper. The tale of Peter Rabbit was eventually published in 1902, priced at 1 shilling, 5p, and has never been out of print since.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, so from what I gathered, so Beatrix Potter actually made like a stuffed doll of Peter Rabbit and sent it off to the patent office. So it's actually the very first licensed character to have ever existed. So even like 20 years before Mickey Mouse became a thing, which I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, still, I don't know how popular it is nowadays, but from what I was reading here, like, I grew up with, I think Penguin Books did a re-release in the 80s and, like, kind of improved on the artwork a
A
little
painting
bit.
of the real Peter Rabbit on his rug in front of the fire.
But yeah, no, that was pretty cool. The fact that, yeah, she had a real rabbit that was the inspiration of the story and was also, like, basically a life model, so she could draw like him in all his, like, different poses. But, yeah,
Her model
apparently
for Peter was very likely her own pet rabbit,
Yeah, we
Peter
learned
Piper.
that. What other stuff do we have? Oh, you connect the dots. Okay. Yeah, righto. Put those together. But yeah, apparently a lot of Japanese tourists still go to the hilltop to check it out. They did a terrible CG movie a couple of years back with James Corden. A couple of famous voice actors have been in like the different shows around the place. Like, did they have? Yeah, the little bits I was watching earlier had like, yeah, Hugh Laurie, Rick Mail, a lot of good British ones. Yeah, this is looking suspiciously like Peter Rabbit doing something. I don't know what that's meant to be. Oh, it's a... Oh, cool, you get a little animated bit from the world of Peter Rabbit and Friends.
Now
No,
click
that's
on
nice.
Print if you want to print out another Join the Dots puzzle.
Why do that?
Her model
That's-
for Peter was very like...
Okay, so you can... Oh, there's a rabbit maze. Oh, that's a bit lazy. It's just like a little sprite of a rabbit head. I guess we're going to get Peter to the garden. But yeah, like, I'll 100% agree with that the art holds up famously. Is really beautiful. And yeah, like the live action bits are cool because you get to see that little glimpse into the English countryside where Beatrix Potter spent most of her life. Oh, we're meant to get out the other side. These are just... I thought we were meant to get to this garden patch in the middle. Okay. Right, continue on. Can I use the arrow keys? Yeah, there we go. I'll just use the arrow keys. But yeah, no, we've had this interesting... I've been having a very comfy weekend. Just,
Now
yeah,
click on
watching these
Print
old
if you want to
shows I
print out
remember
another
from my
maze
childhood.
puzzle. Her model for
Right,
Peter was
now
very
go back
likely
to-
her
we'll
own
go back to
pet.
Hilltop. Okay. What other tales were there? Squirrel Nutkin, Two Bad Mice, Mrs. Tiggy Winkle.
The tale of Mrs.
That was funny
Tittlemouse
about Mrs. Tittlemouse.
Mrs. Tittlemouse
Why not?
is a little wood mouse who lives in a terribly tidy house in a bank under a hedge. She has lots of unwelcome insect visitors whom she shoos away for fear of dirty footprints. But Babbity Bumble and her friends, who have made a nest in a storeroom, will not go. Mrs. Tittlemouse returns to her parlour only to find she has another uninvited guest, Mr. Jackson the toad, leaving wet marks everywhere.
I'm sorry, Mr.
Mr. Jackson has been
Woo,
tempted
I am
in
for
by
real.
the smell of honey. He pulls the bee's nest out of the storeroom
Never
and
meant to
drives
make your daughter
away
cry.
Babbity
I'm just
Bumble
a
and her
mouse, not a
friends,
guy.
while
I'm
Mrs.
sorry, Mr.
Tittlemouse
Jackson.
hides in the nut cellar. When she comes out again, all the visitors have gone. But the house is so untidy
But yeah,
it
it's
takes
just
her
amazing,
2
like,
weeks
how
to
many
spring clean everything and make the
Franchises are
door
just
smaller
basically
so that
cute
Mr.
animals
Jackson
dressed
can't
in,
come
like,
back in.
you know, old school British clothing.
To find out more about this tale, click on the picture. To choose Beatrix
Yeah.
Potter's interest in all kinds of creatures, from spiders to bees, is clearly evident in the tale of Mrs. Tittlemouse. In fact, her publisher thought that some of her creepy-crawly insects were not suitable for a children's book, and so Beatrix included a beautiful picture of a butterfly as well. The book was
Standard
published
for
in
publishers, always
1910.
down with that bloody censorship. Yeah, okay. Go back to... Let's have a look at the family, maybe. So we got the mantle, Bertram Potter.
This is a picture of Beatrix's brother, Bertram, who was born in 1872, when Beatrix was 6. In spite of the difference in their ages, the 2 children were close companions, until Bertram was sent away to school at the age of 11. He shared his sister's interests in nature and in painting, and helped her look after the animals they kept in their schoolroom. When Bertram grew up, he became a landscape artist.
Ah. Yeah, going by... I'm just wondering if he passed on it during World War II, going by the date there. Who else we got? Okay, Beatrix and Bertram. Who else was here? Rupert and Edmund Potter at Campfield Place.
Beatrix's grandfather, Edmund Potter, with Rupert, at Campfield Place.
Okay.
Beatrix's grandparents, Edmund and Jessie Potter, lived in a large country house called Campfield Place in Hertfordshire, within easy reach of London. Beatrix was very fond of her grandparents.
Oh, sorry, just stop that one. Um, yeah. What else we got? Oh, she actually, yeah, like definitely did a lot of drawing. We'll see if you, yeah, she did like scientific studies of all the nature outside Hilltop as well. Not a
A
looker
portrait
though.
photograph of Beatrix taken in Scotland in 1892. Beatrix had
Yeah,
always
I
been
know.
interested in natural history, and in
I
her
know
early
there's a
20s
movie
she began to
they
make
did
a
a
serious
biopic and it was
study of
like
fungi.
Renee Zellweger as
In
Beatrix Potter. I can't
1892,
remember if it
the
was a good
Potter
movie or
family
not.
spent the
No,
summer
I
at
haven't actually
Burnham
seen it.
in Perthshire, Scotland, which was an excellent place for finding unusual specimens.
Oh, she had more than one
Beatrix
rabbit.
with
Okay.
Benjamin on a lead. Beatrix continued to keep pet animals. A great favourite was a rabbit called Benjamin Bouncer, whom Beatrix had brought from a London bird shop and carried home in a paper bag. He went everywhere with her, and she made numerous sketches of him.
Yeah, okay.
From Beatrix Potter's
Oh,
journal,
you got journal
Sunday,
extracts
October the
too.
30th,
Okay.
1892. Rabbits are creatures of warm, volatile temperament. It is this naturalness that I find so delightful in Mr. Benjamin Bunny. At one moment amiably sentimental to the verge of silliness, at the next the upsetting of a jug or teacup will convert him into a demon, throwing himself on his back, scratching and spluttering. If I can lay hold on him without being bitten, within half a minute he's licking my hand as though nothing has happened. He's an abject coward, but believes in bluster. Benjamin once fell into an aquarium head first, and sat in the water, which he could not get out of, pretending to eat a piece of string. Nothing like putting a face upon circumstances.
Okay, fair enough. What else we got? Yeah, Beatrix age 5, Bolton Gardens, so with the father. Yeah, so they actually got really good quality prints of the photos, I suppose, because yeah, when was she born? 1860. So yeah, very very early days of photography, that's for sure. Oh, and this sort of just goes around on a loop. Okay, hang on. No, Noel Moore was a husband,
Noel
I think.
Moore. Beatrix often wrote illustrated letters to the Moore children. When the oldest
Ah,
boy,
okay.
Noel, was 5, she wrote him a letter all about the imaginary adventures of one of her pet rabbits, Peter. My
Okay,
dear
and that
Noel,
was
I don't
that
know
was the
what to write to you,
inspiration. Just
so
yeah,
I
like
shall
if
tell
you're
you
gonna
a
write a kid's
story
story,
about
like
4 little
give it to a
rabbits,
kid and see what
whose
they think
names
about it.
were Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and Peter.
Yeah, okay. What else we got?
Norman Warne. After the success of The Tale of Peter Rabbit, Beatrix went on to write other books. Norman Warne, the youngest of the Warne brothers who ran the publishing company, acted as her editor, and they worked together closely and became great friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because she did get married eventually, and I forgot who it was actually to. That certainly is a mustache. That's yeah, very dapper. Yeah. You know how to recognize dapperness in other people dapper. um, okay, Portrait Hilltop.
Beatrix's
Ah,
sketch of her farm,
oh, you don't want to
Hilltop.
blow that up for us?
After her fiancé's
Okay.
death, Beatrix no longer wanted to be in London. The money she had earned from her books had enabled her to buy a small farm in the Lake District,
Can't grow a
and
mustache
she now
like that.
spent as
Yeah,
much
I've
time
actually
there as
I
she
got the
could.
reverse Hitler. I can't grow it here. Yeah. Okay, so she was widowed from the fiance. I think yeah, this is
William
the
Heelis.
second husband. I think.
To help her in her property dealing, Beatrix employed a local solicitor, William Heelis. He shared Beatrix's love of the Lake District countryside and her desire to preserve its beauty.
Oh, nothing more about
Beatrix
this.
and
Oh, there
Willie
we go.
on their wedding day.
Willie.
In 1913, Beatrix and William Heelis married, in spite of some protests from her parents about the unsuitability of the match. Beatrix left London forever and moved into Castle Cottage with Willie. She kept Hilltop Farm as her special place, a sanctuary full of her treasures.
Oh, kept it separate from hubby. That's fair enough. Okay. What else we got? Oh,
Beatrix's
this
design
is
for
the
a
doll.
Peter Rabbit
Okay.
doll. By the time of the First World War, in 1914, Beatrix had almost stopped producing books. But her reputation as a writer and illustrator was as strong as ever. She herself had made the first Peter Rabbit doll in 1903, and now many products associated with her books were on sale. These sideshows, as she called them, did increasingly well, and included toys, figurines, tea sets, a board game, slippers, and calendars.
Yeah. Also a little creeped out. I'm hoping that's like stitched together. It's not like just a real rabbit skin, like a taxidermy thing, because that'd be a little creepy.
French editions of the Peter Rabbit books. In 1921, The Tale of Peter Rabbit and The Tale of Benjamin Bunny were published in French for the first time. In the years to come, her books would eventually be translated into over 30 different languages.
Yeah, definitely got popular. And I think, I was reading something about the whole thing of the rights transferring to the public domain when it's like 70 years after the author's death or something like that. That happened in like 2014. That's probably why we got the those crappy CG movies that came out about it. Oh, she had Pekingese dogs. Okay. And we're just rolling around again. Let's just leave that alone. We'll do another tale, I guess. Who else do we have? Little Pig Robinson, maybe?
The Tale of Little Pig Robinson.
Oh, that's
Little
a big
Pig Robinson is the apple of his aunt's eyes. One fine spring morning, they sent him to market in Stymouth with a basket of eggs and cauliflowers to sell, and a list of errands to run. Robinson sells his wares successfully, but while shopping for his aunts, he is lured aboard a ship called the Pound of Candles by a sailor who turns out to be the ship's cook. Once on board, Robinson is given muffins and crumpets to eat and falls fast asleep. The ship sails with Robinson on it. Robinson is upset at first, but soon comes to enjoy his life at sea. He is fed endlessly and petted by all the crew. But what he doesn't realise, despite warnings from the ship's cat,
less
is that
petting
the
and more
cook is
fill
planning a
them up to
birthday
see if she's
treat of
grown
roast
big
pork
enough to eat.
for Captain Barnabas Butcher. The cat decides Robinson must get away, and one calm evening, whilst the crew is playing cards, he helps Robinson to escape in the jolly boat. Robinson rows to a marvellous island, with food aplenty for a hungry pig. When the owl and the pussycat visit him for their honeymoon 18 months later, they find him fatter than ever and very contented.
Okay.
To find out more about this story was developed in
story.
1901 and 1902, but not fully worked up until shortly before the book was published in 1930. Beatrix Potter spent many holidays by the seaside and sketched a number of the towns she visited, including Sidmouth and Ilfracombe in Devon, Hastings in Sussex, and Lyme Regis, Dorset, all of which were useful for the book pictures.
Yeah, well, it's good to get out for a bit more inspiration. What else we got? Yeah, and I think this looks suspiciously like the Penguin books that came out in like the 80s and 90s and shit. So what else we have? We did the family, we didn't. Yeah, let's maybe look at some art. What do we got? Animals, fantasy, landscapes, early work.
A painting of a rabbit done in 1880 when Beatrix was 14.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good painting for a 14-year-old.
A study of 12 different caterpillars drawn when Beatrix was 9 years old.
Oh, shit. Wow. Okay, no, that's definitely something. You do more than put that one on the fridge. You
Harebells and marguerites, with a sketch of purple heather below. Dated July the 5th, 1880. 2 pages from the drawing book Beatrix kept in 1876, when she was 10. The left-hand page shows Aberfeldy Bridge, and a lighthouse, boats and the coast. The drawing on the right-hand page is of rabbits skating, and rabbits walking in a high wind. The library at Ray Castle in the Lake District, where Beatrix and her family stayed on holiday in 1882, when Beatrix was 16.
God, that's pretty well put. Yeah, that's bloody good. That's a bloody good painting. Interesting to know if that was like drawn from memory and shit too.
A corner of the third-floor schoolroom at number 2 Bolton Gardens, drawn by Beatrix in 1885, when she was 19. A painting of a
19.
rabbit.
Okay, now we saw all that.
Views
Yeah,
of a
some
ground
scientific
beetle,
stuff.
Carabus nemoralis, from above and below. The inscription reads, "Twice life-size." The same species of beetle appears in The Tale of Mrs. Tittlemouse.
Ah, okay.
Studies of a painted lady butterfly and a small tortoiseshell butterfly, with paintings of the wing scales magnified under a microscope.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. To actually be able to physically draw that picture just from, yeah. That's
Caterpillars of the
pretty impressive.
poplar hawk moth, the puss moth, and the privet hawk moth. A lithograph of a sheet web spider, highly magnified.
Big creepy spider. Yeah, what else? Yeah,
Studies
look
of
at some the
bats
animals.
and bat skeletons. 6 studies of the real Benjamin Bunny's head. A study of a small orange fish, with a drawing of a sea anemone beneath, done when Beatrix was on holiday in Weymouth, in southwest England. A painting of the real Peter Rabbit,
Yeah,
a baby
I saw that
hedgehog,
one.
drawn on the palm of a hand
Oh,
to
that's
show its
adorable.
size.
Yeah, they're tiny little things.
Studies of a dead thrush from various angles. The drawing is
Not-
inscribed
Not as cute, but pretty
Woodcut,
well drawn. At the very least.
1902. Picked up
Okay.
Studies of bats
Alright.
and bat
Yeah,
skeletons.
no, I was kind
6
of hoping for a
studies
little
of
bit more artwork and the like.
In the
but
drawing entitled The Rabbit's Dream,
a couple of cool
Peter
ones.
Rabbit is asleep in the bedroom at Camfield Place.
Okay.
Greedy Guinea Pigs, a Christmas card design produced for the publishers Hildesheimer and Faulkner. An illustration for the nursery rhyme 3 Little Mice Sat Down to Spin. The interior of the potting shed with watering can and garden tools at Bedwell Lodge in Hertfordshire.
Yeah, alright. Well, we seem to have covered most of it. We didn't find any letters in all of this, but, well, we'll see. Hang on, what other activities? Oh, okay. Secret codes, leaf rubbing, scrapbook. What the hell is a conversation peppermint?
If you would like to make your own conversation peppermints, click on print for the recipe.
Okay. This
If you would
might
like to
be-
grow some
yeah,
vegetables,
okay.
click on
Don't have a printer, unfortunately. No printer hooked up to work specifically in Windows 3.1. I don't know if people have actually got that working or not. Okay, we've got colouring books, mazes, jigsaws. Might do a jigsaw. Oh, look at these 2 adorable little things though.
Tabitha Twitchett had 3 kittens, Tom and his sisters Moppet and Mittens.
Oh yeah. They are certainly very adorable. Let's see if we can put them together though. Hang on, are we meant to be... Where's the edge on this thing? Maybe that's meant to go... Oh yeah, it clicks in when you're in the right spot. Okay. That's sort of nearby. Hang on, we got... That's another one around probably friend here, perhaps. There we go. And that seems to have led on to... Yeah, I'm just doing this like I normally do. Just gotta find them edges. Very helpful that it all clicks together as well. That's down there. Oh, get some nice little harpsichord music going too. That's sort of, yeah, that seems to be about there. I love that too. It's just the literal shape of the kitten's head. Pops straight in there. Okay, what else we got? It's on this edge. That's there. Oh, I got something in front of that one. Hang on. That goes up there, and that one goes there. Oh, do love little kittens. Haven't seen any there.
Kittens, where are you? They were always in mischief.
Do love my kitties. Yeah, alright, now let's do one more tale, and then we'll finish out. So what else we got? I'm trying to pick one I haven't actually watched yet. Yeah, if you do want to check out the actual series itself, yeah, the whole thing is on archive.org if you do a bit of searching. Yeah,
The story of Miss Moppet.
Oh, another
The
cat
cheeky
one.
mouse
Cool.
makes fun of Miss Moppet, who bangs her head trying to catch him. Moppet wraps her head up in a duster and sits by the fire. The mouse comes to look, and Miss Moppet watches him secretly through a hole in the duster. Then she pounces and wraps him up in the duster, but she forgets the duster has a hole in it, so the little mouse escapes.
Aw.
To find out, the story of Miss Moppet, like the story of a fierce bad rabbit, was first published as a fold-out concertina in 1906.
Oh, wow.
Moppet is Tom Kitten's sister, and this simple story was written for very young children.
So it was. But yeah, no, I think we'll leave the magic world. It was definitely interesting to learn a little bit about Beatrix Potter. This was, yeah, I saw this before, and it was very, very dark music to finish on, though. Just a little bit creepy.
I'm watching Death Sandals video, by the way. That's who the person is. So if you want to watch a full playthrough, Death Sandals,